If you are ready to feel good, then you are in the right place. What is up, guys, and welcome back to today's video where we are going to be releasing that tight upper body of yours. Let's go ahead and get started right away in the seated position, starting with these reverse shoulder rolls. Bring the shoulders all the way up to the ears, pinch the shoulder blades together to bring them back, depress the shoulders to bring them down, and protract to bring them forward. After you do about 5 of them backwards, let's go ahead and hit 5 forwards, focusing on the same thing. Shoulders up by the ears, push them in front, push them down, and pinch them back. And then we'll hop right into these seated cat-cows. You want to focus on breathing in while you arch your back, and go ahead and exhale to round your spine. Again, inhale to arch while throwing your head back and opening up through that front body, and then exhale while you round the spine, bringing the chin to chest. We're going to do about 5 reps here once again, so just focus on that breath. In through the nose to arch, and out through the mouth to round the spine. Bringing the arms on up, now you're going to go ahead and interlace the fingers, reaching up as tall as you can, and then go ahead and place those hands behind your head so you can open up through that front body one more time. Breathe in and go ahead and breathe out to once again pull your chin to chest, round the spine. Only this time we're going to slide out into our very first child pose. This pose we're going to be hanging out in for a few, and we will return back to this pose during this stretch, so be prepared to feel really good, because this to me is the most relaxing when my upper body is extremely tight. Go ahead and focus on the breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and you have the option to make this an active stretch or a very relaxed stretch where you just hang out. Whatever your body is feeling today, go ahead and listen to it, because it always knows best. I like to reach my hands out a little bit farther, going onto the fingertips, just so I can stretch my lats a little bit more, because those are really the tightest for me. But again, whatever your body wants is what it should get. Hang out here for just a few more breaths before we go into our next stretch. Go ahead and inhale to come on up out of that child's pose and bring those arms up above your head one last time, interlacing the fingers for one more stretch all the way up. Let's go ahead and slide on up into a tabletop position, swaying side to side just to make sure your spine is nice and happy and awake before we go into our full cat-cows. Again, inhale to arch and exhale to round the spine. When you inhale and arch, you want to think about opening up that chest, throwing your head back. And when you exhale, you want to really think about bringing that chin all the way back down to your chest as you round the spine. I really like to squeeze my glutes, and I think about sucking in my core in that position. Again, about 5 reps here. So just make sure you're focusing on the breath and really enjoying this. Now we are going to transition into our next pose, hitting that child's pose. Now only you're going to walk your hands forward so you can bring your hips right above your knees and bringing your chest to the floor. This should feel like a nice upper body release once again in the front side body, but also in the back. I really like to focus on keeping the core tight so I don't pinch my back, but you should feel a nice stretch here. If you feel any pain here, it might just be because your core is a little bit too relaxed and you need some protection. Let's go ahead and push on up out of that and hit a nice upward dog. You want to once again engage the core and the glutes, and you want to raise those quads off the floor. So if you can get your thighs off the floor, that'll really be good for this stretch. Again, throw your head back to deepen this pose. Focus on breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. If you're feeling up to it, go ahead and add a twist by bringing your right hip to the floor, looking over your left shoulder, and again, bringing your left hip to the floor, looking over your right shoulder. Let's go ahead and push on back into another child's pose so your spine can recenter and realign. Again, option to make it an active stretch or a relaxed stretch, whatever your body is feeling today. But now let's go ahead and walk those hands to the right side so you can deepen the stretch in your left side body. You should feel a nice stretch here in your left side body, your lat, your rear delt, that whole area over there, even your obliques. Just make sure when you breathe in, you are focusing on bringing that oxygen to the area that is being stretched, that is being open, that you are trying to release. Go ahead and do the same thing on the other side, walking your hands to the left, really stretching and opening up that right side body now. You should feel a good stretch in the lat, the rear delt, and your obliques here. Again, focusing on that breath. Intention is everything, whether it's stretching, training, working, speaking to someone. Intention has so much to do with everything. A few more breaths here, and let's go ahead and recenter. So we can hop into this next shoulder opening pose. You're gonna go ahead and bring the top of your head to the floor while grabbing your heels. From there, you're going to lift your hips off of your heels, bring them up, and push them away while you lean more forward and put a little bit more pressure on your head. You should feel a nice pull in your scapula. Right now, my scapulas are being pulled apart and it feels amazing because they are constantly being compressed. So this stretch is great for any athlete who does a lot of hanging on the bars or even tumbling, just because you're always hitting the floor with a lot of power. That upper body could really feel a nice release here. I hope you focus on your breath there. I know I remind you guys a lot, but I don't think I reminded you guys that time. But you got this. Come on up, hit another seated cat-cow if you feel up to it. Now let's transition into a nice heart opening stretch. You're gonna go ahead and bring your left hand to your left heel, opening up one side at a time, bringing that right arm up and above, reaching back, almost in a bridge-like position. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, and expand that core with oxygen. Every time you bring some air in, you want to bring it to the area that you're trying to stretch. So here is a little bit of your core, a lot of your chest, and once again, the front delt area. Hop into the right side, bringing the right hand to the right heel, reaching that left arm up and around to right behind you, whether you are reaching for a wall or a lovely park if you are outdoors. Just really focus on this nice heart opening stretch. A few more breaths here, and then we're gonna see if we can take this stretch up another level. Go ahead and recenter if you need to. Option to do a child's pose if you were like, wow, that stretch was absolutely insane. Or option just to do a little rounding of the spine before we go into the more advanced version, where you will now bring your hands up and around all the way down to your lower back. Now, keeping the core and glutes tight while slowly reclining into this full camel-like pose. Again, opening up the chest and the front side body. You should feel a really nice stretch in the front of your delts, focusing on breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. If this pose is too advanced and there is any pain, go ahead and bring your hands back up to your lower back and stay there for the day. But other than that, we're gonna come on out of this stretch anyways. I just wanted you guys to know the modification for that. Let's go ahead and recenter and realign one more time in my favorite child's pose position. Option to rock, option to hang out, option to really push this stretch, or just absolutely relax and sink into it. But as always, just keep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Option to breathe in and out through the nose as well. I just absolutely do not recommend mouth breathing, and I wish I knew that for most of my life. But within the past couple of years, I read a really cool book that taught me about breathing, and I will say that yes, nose breathing is what is up. Let's go ahead and bring that right hand underneath that left armpit so you can now open up that rear delt one more time. Option to keep the chin on the ground, or to deepen the stretch, you can bring your right ear to the floor and really reach that right hand out as far as you can while trying to keep your spine straight. Just be sure not to over twist here, that way you don't miss out on the good part of the stretch. Go ahead and switch, bringing the right arm up and now bringing the left arm underneath the right armpit. Palms should be facing up towards the ceiling, and I am instantly going into the deep twist by bringing my left ear to the floor, but still keeping my back straight and not moving too far to the side when I bring my left arm through my right armpit. Again, hanging out here just for a few more breaths. Option to stay in a regular child's pose if any of this is pushing too much, or if you just feel so tight that it is like painful. I don't want you guys to be hurting. I want you guys to be feeling good here. Recenter with that child's pose again and breathe in to come on up so we can transition into yet another stretch. Bringing your hips to one side and your feet to the other, you are going to transition into a crisscross position with your right leg in front of your left leg. Let's go ahead and sway from side to side, just relaxing that spine one more time. And if you'd like, go ahead and hit some more seated cat-cows, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. On the inhale, throwing the head back, arching the spine, and on the exhale, you're going to round the spine, bringing your chin to chest. Going back to doing about 5 more reps of these. Focus on your breath. Breathing in one last time, finishing strong with a nice cow position. Let's transition on out to a nice shoulder stretch. You're going to recline on back, walking those hands out as far away as you can. Be sure to keep your core and glutes engaged here as well, so you protect the lower spine and really focus on the stretch in the front delts. Couple of breaths here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Make sure you're bringing that oxygen to your shoulders so they can really open up and feel the stretch there. Come on up, and we're gonna go back into another crisscross position, only this time you're gonna bring your left leg in front of your right leg and do a few more seated cat-cows. That way our hips are happy and even too. Again, we're gonna hang out here for about 5 reps, breathing in as you open up the front side body, throwing the head back and arching the spine, and breathing out, bringing the chin to your chest, rounding the spine. Alrighty, let's slide on out into one more recline shoulder stretch. Once again, walking those hands out as far as possible, and maybe this time going even a little bit farther than you did the last. Focus on bringing the air to the shoulders so they can really open up. And again, so you protect your spine, make sure you are keeping your core and glutes engaged. Let's go ahead and slide on up. Feel free to add some wrist rolls if that irritated anything in any way. And let's prepare for this nice tabletop position. Fingers pointed towards your heels, toes pointed straight. You are going to keep your core tight, engage your glutes to bring your hips up. Option to throw your head back to go into the full stretch, or if that is too far for you today, you can bring your chin forward. That feels like more of a workout to me, so I like to throw my head back and completely relax. Let's go ahead and bring those hips on down so you can hit a nice counter stretch. Extending your legs out in front, reaching up tall, you're gonna go ahead and hit a seated forward fold. If you can reach your heels, awesome. If you are not there today, it is okay. Again, listen to your body. Option to be relaxed or make this an active stretch, bringing your chest up and back down, seeing if you can sink deeper and deeper into the stretch each time. Go ahead and sink one last time before we come on up into another seated spinal twist. So keeping your legs out in front, your core tight, you're gonna reach your arms up tall, extend that right hand behind you, bringing your left arm across your body, placing it to the right side of your knee. Looking over your right shoulder, you should feel a nice twist. You wanna make sure you are staying up tall as if you are a puppet and strings are pulling you up. Let's go ahead and transition into the other side, bringing the arms up one last time. You're going to bring that right arm across your body, placing it on the left side of your knee, looking over the left shoulder and placing that left hand behind you. For me, I definitely notice my imbalances here, but I don't overthink them. I just focus on what they are so I can become more balanced. But I will say that this side is way more tight. especially from dynamics, doing a lot of 360s, but only one direction. I definitely don't spin this way, so it feels nice to stretch that way because I'm always pinching the other side. Anyways, let's go ahead and hit one more seated forward fold, and let's make this one an active one because we're about to say our goodbyes for the day. I hope that you guys enjoyed this stretch. Yes, we did hit a little bit of lower back and lower body, but this was a main focus for your upper body, so I really hope you felt some relaxation. Go ahead and hit a side stretch to open up the lats and the rear delts one last time. We're gonna go from side to side, interlacing the fingers, reaching up tall. Don't think about just pinching your side, really think about reaching up, 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 and around to the side. That way you are pulling and making that an active stretch. I hope that is everything that you needed because we are finally done. Option to do any last neck rolls, neck sways, seated cat-cows, or just relax. Feel free to meditate or carry on and enjoy the rest of your day. Other than that, I really hope that you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to come back next Monday for more. I'll see you guys then. Bye.